Vika Marcus.
What topic did you do for your capstone?
So I'm trying to build and test a prototype of an EVA glove, which is just a spacesuit glove, basically.
Why did you choose this topic?
So I want to work in the field of bioastronautics, which is basically like space technology and how humans interact with technology put together. It's like the biggest way of like integrating humans and like helping them work and live in space. And a really big like factor in this is how are humans supposed to sustainably live in space, like on the International Space Station. And they have to do repairs a lot too, because like these are huge like machines that are very complicated and need a lot of upkeep. And the way that scientists and engineers were able to figure this out was the spacesuit, which lets people go outside of the station and like work on it. And in order to do that, the spacesuit needs to, integrate this very complicated technology to keep someone alive in space and also let them work on the station. And the most difficult part of the spacesuit is the spacesuit glove, because the hand has like so many degrees of rotation and like so many different positions that it has to be in, and it has to have a lot of mobility. And to do that in a pressurized suit is really, really hard. And I don't know why, but I've just always been like fascinated by that sort of thing, like how humans interact with technology. And this was like the most complicated thing I could think of, so naturally I chose it.
Who is your mentor and why did you choose
Okay.
him?
So my mentor is Daryl Garcia from Lockheed Martin and the United Launch Alliance. And I chose him because he was the only person who responded to my emails and my calls. So yeah.
What does your daily routine look like?
So it really depends on the day. Like I'm writing 2 different papers for this project. One of them was a hypothesis paper, I guess, which just detailed like expected results, and another one will be a more like formal technical document that will like actually go through like with graphs and tables and things that like details everything. So sometimes I'm working on that. Sometimes I'm actually constructing the glove. Sometimes I'm working on like diagrams and the way that I'm going to be like planning how to actually construct the glove and test it. Right now, I'm actually waiting on a bunch of materials to like arrive so I can start working on my vacuum chamber. So
Have you made any glove prototypes yet?
I don't have a full prototype yet, mostly because I'm waiting for materials. But I do have several of the layers patterned out and like ready and just waiting for the fabric to come in. So
How does community service play into your class time and project?
well, my kind of service aspect of my project is a little more abstract because this is a very like niche topic. But spacesuit gloves and the technology in spacesuits is actually has a lot of direct applications to other like protective equipment, like for medical workers and for like firefighters and like people in those kinds of situations. A lot of like spacesuit technology is used in like developing heat protective like fabrics, and that's really big for firefighters and like making their equipment lighter and like their gloves a lot easier to use. But I think the service portion that I'm more looking at is hand exercises, because the gloves are really hard to use because they restrict a lot of movement. I'm thinking that if astronauts were exposed to some kind of training to like make their hands stronger and more dexterous, that could actually help them like operate with the gloves. So those kinds of exercises, I guess, are also used to like help people who have like conditions that degrade muscles and nerves in the hands. Like a lot of people who suffer strokes have like reduced mobility after that in their hands, so that could help them too.
So the end goal is to get a good glove made for astronauts, ultimately?
Ultimately, yes, but my project is very limited because I'm like resourceless basically. I think the main goal with my project is just to prove that there's huge potential with this, because if I'm able to make a glove like for a very small budget and like with little to no industry experience, then and it can perform not even good, just like it can hold itself in a vacuum, that means this technology has insane potential to be so much better than it is. Because spacesuit gloves have like historically caused a lot of issues with like injuries on the hands because they're really hard to use. And if I can show that there is room for improvement with this technology, then we should be in a really good place scientifically.
What are you hoping to get out of this?
More experience in engineering settings and working on research projects in a field that I'm very interested in. I don't expect the glove to work on any of the same levels as current NASA gloves do. And there's a lot of different reasons for that, but mostly it's because I don't have any resources or tools available